Today we're talking about 5 reasons the INFJ seems too deep to others. INFJs are totally normal. There is nothing that is wrong about the way we are. But very often we have this impression that other people look at us and think, you are too deep, this is too much too soon, and they back off, they get uncomfortable. And so we get into these situations where we first off don't know what happened because we seem to have such a great connection, and then the other person just panicked. And on top of that, we don't know what we did wrong, or if we did something wrong, or if we should alter who we are, because the truth is we never even recognize that we are doing something that might make other people uncomfortable in one way or another, because we're just being ourselves. So today we look into 5 reasons why the INFJ seems too deep for others, and if this is really something that we want to change, if we should change it, and how to use all of that knowledge to actually have incredibly great relationships. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life Formula. And if you want to take it to the next level and start your epic journey today, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Reason number 1 why the INFJ seems too deep to others is because other people are just not used to it. If there's something that you're not familiar with, you're more likely to judge it. And particularly you're going to do this if this makes you feel safe. So if an INFJ comes around and they're just being their, incredible self, and just naturally they create this incredible connection with another person that is authentic, that is real, that is based on trust, because you just show up and say okay, we're human. Let's talk on a real level. Let's not play games. And of course, this isn't something that the INFJ has to say out loud like this. It's just our behavior that represents that. A lot of people at first sight are completely smitten, not just in romantic relationships. It feels so true. It feels like you have a real connection with that person. But the moment this interaction stops, the other person will take a step back and recognize how dangerous the situation actually was, because they have no idea what just happened. They're not used to this. And on top of that, it felt completely natural to you and you didn't even question it. And afterwards, you behave like you just met that person and there's nothing special about your connection. Because there isn't. That's just the way how you interact as an INFJ with probably everybody if you had the choice. Yes, of course, you will want to connect with others a little bit deeper, but most of the time, we actually want those honest conversations. We want those honest connections. And so the other person very often will try to find meaning in this that will make them look good from their perspective. So it's much easier to say, oh, you're too deep for me. What is going on? This is not normal. Why are you acting like this? And also tell themselves this story in order to protect themselves. The challenge with this is that the INFJ very often starts questioning him or herself. There's always this notion, oh, I did something wrong. I went too deep. I, made them come out of their shelf and it was too much. But the thing is that we very often do this with particular people because we keep this part of ourselves hidden. We keep it hidden because it's just too much for the world. That's at least how it seems. And so from time to time, it comes out very extremely in just a couple of situations. And it's probably with a person who craves it so much that afterwards is completely terrified by it. So what do we do about this? Well, recognize that there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. And it's not just that you have to bring it out in this one situation. It's actually something we should live out on a daily basis. And with a complete acceptance of, I'm not looking left and right if people are going to judge it, if they're going to like it, if I'm going to get the feedback that I want. That's just how I go about my life. That's how I talk. That's how I live my life. And the more you do this, you will recognize that it will never ever feel like it used to feel. There's no situation now where I feel like others are interpreting my behavior as too deep. It might be, but I'm just not looking in that direction. If people cannot handle the way I am, well, then there's a natural distance that is created within us. And if you live this out on a daily basis, then you won't look for that 1 or 2 situations where it might come out and it will be so extreme and you will be so in need of this and the other person will get frightened or whatever kind of circumstance might arise from this. Reason number 2 why the INFJ seems too deep to others is because it brings up trauma. It does. If you connect with somebody on such a deep level, you're automatically bringing things to the forefront. And most of us carry some kind of trauma within us. Some things that have happened, even if you had the best life, trauma still happens. And so if you naturally start talking to people on such a deep level, it will bring up this trauma. And this is something that people try to avoid at all costs. It happens on a subconscious level, but they will do everything in their power to keep that part hidden, because facing all that pain, that they try to push down for so long seems unbearable. And what does a person do when they try to find a reason behind their own behavior? They will make up a story. People love to believe in stories. People love to have a story and a meaning behind something. And the easiest thing to do is just to say that INFJ over there is just too deep. Like, what are they doing? This is not right. There is an uncomfortable feeling within them, but they don't recognize that this is because some own stuff kept popping up, because now they actually look at an authentic place within them. It's so much easier to have this negative emotion and just give them this meaning of, oh, the INFJ is too deep. I don't like it. Apparently, it doesn't make me feel good. And then I just move on. Again, this is not something that should make you feel bad or ashamed. It's just something the other person has to deal with. And if they are not able to understand what is really going on, then, let them put that on you. Like, that's not your business. Like, whatever they think about you or what kind of story they make up about you in their mind, that's their prerogative. Let that be. Focus on you going forward and living your truth. Reason number 3 why the INFJ seems too deep to others is because others lose a sense of power. The deeper we go, psychologically speaking, the more powerful we become. We as INFJs, because we feel comfortable in these fields. Other people, most of the time, don't. And so if you actually go deeper with another person and the power dynamics change, then this might be a reason why the other person, comes up with the story or tells themselves or you're too deep, like, don't do that. Like, what are you doing? And they actually try to make you feel bad about it. When in the end, it's just your territory. This is where you feel best. This is where you feel the strongest. And so you're naturally going to go into that direction. You not only feel more powerful on this level, but you also feel and will be probably more powerful in comparison to the other person. Most people don't feel comfortable in this area. And so automatically when you go deeper, the power dynamics shift. And people don't want to lose power. That's just normal. That's why we want to go deeper. And that's why others want to go more superficial. Understand that this is happening, and then it just won't bother you this much. Reason number 4 why the INFJ seems too deep to others is because others very often misinterpret INFJ's intentions. How often have you as an INFJ, gone really real with somebody and have been honest? And all you wanted in that situation is to have an authentic connection, is to have a real conversation. For the other person, it probably looked like you were trying to create a relationship with them, have fallen madly in love with them, or whatever story they might make up in their mind. Because for us, being authentic is just our second nature. We think this is common decency. This is just, kind behavior. You're just being real, and you recognize that you're human, the other person is a human, so why play games? So let's just be honest, what's really going on here. Most people are not comfortable with this. They're not used to this. And so therefore, they will interpret your behavior not based on what your intentions are, but based on when they would act in a similar way or when somebody else would act in a similar way. And so therefore, they come to the conclusion that you might have these huge intentions with this person and it just scares them. And when they feel this, they're not going to go up to you and be authentic and say, let's talk about this. Are you really trying to be very intimate with me psychologically? Is this supposed to be something serious? They're not going to have those conversations. They will just tell themselves, oh, that person, that INFJ, they're too deep. Like, this is not right. And I will just go my way. How often have you as an INFJ been in this situation and have felt shamed, have felt judged? And if you continuously experience this, you will probably get to a place where you start feeling shameful yourself, when you start feeling there's something wrong about you or that you're making a mistake, but you're not. And hopefully you've gotten to this place now where you've recognized this and you don't even get into situations like this. Because if people interpret your behavior like this, they don't belong in your life. And it never actually gets to this place, because very often we will have those extreme reactions when we're still trying to get some kind of positive feedback for who we are. A feedback of, no, you're not too much, you're not too deep. But if you already know that you're not too much and that you're just right and that you're not too deep, that's just how you are and who you are, you're not going to go out on a limb in order to get some kind of reaction that will tell you, no, don't worry, you are good. You already know this. And so situations like this will happen less and less frequently. And reason number 5, why the INFJ seems too deep for others, is because it's exhausting. We have to be aware of that. We can be so good at going deep and going deep psychologically speaking. This is where we thrive. This is what is fun to us. But most people cannot handle this. It's too much. And I can understand this so well now because my husband is an ISTJ and he goes deep into things that I just can't keep up with. There's such a level on details that I just can't keep up. So we have found like a level where, I can still keep up and it doesn't exhaust me too much, and he can still get all of the important points across. So this is something that we have to keep in mind when it comes to ourselves as well. Just because we have a capacity to go so deep and so broad and feel comfortable in this area, and this is actually a fun challenge to us, that does not mean that this is as easy for others as well. It is exhausting. It requires them to concentrate a lot. And so they cannot handle to go that deep, that much, at a continuous basis. But that doesn't mean that this is something you should feel bad about. Just know that this is something you're extremely skilled at, and it will be exhausting for some people, and that's okay. And you just have to find outlets where you can let it all out and live it out and have a healthy outlet. Remember, if you want some more guidelines, maybe how to find outlets like this, living out your vocation, then check out the INFJ Epic Life Formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on the 5 reasons why the INFJ is first admired and then ghosted.